This is a licking stick that we put out. This is that logging road trail. Get the camera here. And what we did was, this is that logging road that comes and turns here. Makes another turn, and this is that spot that we set up so that we could get deer to come to a spot, stop them in front of this camera. They finally broke the stick off. So I think we put this out in July. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find another one. I'm just going to drop it in and reset it. And it's already November. It's going to be the November this week. So it's the last week of October. But it's it's a great time. You can see they're scraping and rubbing. So I'm going to give them another spot to come to. Let them work it. If they break it off, I'm just going to throw another stick in. So no big deal. But the good part is we've got hundreds and hundreds of videos and pictures on this one already. So we're just going to replace it. So before I get going too far with this, I want to show what I did. I took this tree. You can see it's already been rubbed. It's a pretty tall tree. It's way too big for the spring. The spring is leaning, but I want to show this. I've had it in front of this camera now. Hopefully it's recording there too. What I did was I found this rub. It was over in this woods, probably less than 100 yards from where I'm going to set this up on the trail. So I know it's full of good scent. It's been scent marked already. So what I did was I cut it down, brought it over here. Now it's way too tall for this base. See how it's leaning? It's actually leaning up against. It's just too tall. It's going to lean over. I see a lot of people putting big trees in these things. You can't. You don't need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut this off about 5 feet up. No taller than that is where I'm going to cut it off. I'm trying to self-film it so it makes it a little tough, but so I'm going to get this. I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm done. This will stand up, but it doesn't have to have all this top stuff. This stuff doesn't do me any good. So I'm going to cut it off, and what I'm interested in seeing is it's a green tree, so it should last a while. When I say green, I mean it was alive, but it's been rubbed, and it's been rubbed for years, you can see, and it's been freshly rubbed. So it's already scented up for me. I am going to put my scent on it as well, the all-season scent, but it's gotten a ton of scent on it. So I'm going to set this up and see what it looks like. Here's what I did. I cut it off at about 5 feet. And so the other thing I did was my base plate had slowly, this is an old base plate, it's just our steel plate, actually doesn't anchor as well to the ground as the new flex plate base, but it had actually worked itself a little bit loose. So I re-pounded those stakes in, cut it off, and what I did was I didn't have a saw, so I took a knife and I kind of just worked my way through it. But what I like about this is I left this real frayed. I'm going to put a bunch of scent on there, and then I'm just going to leave this as it's already basically pre-scented for me as these bucks have been rubbing on it. It's just a rub I found. What I did was, and I had to actually whittle the base to get it in. I don't normally like doing that because if it's that big, it's too big. But this I'm putting in end of October. I'm actually going to have it set up more as a rub than a licking stick, but it's small enough that I think they will use it like a licking stick, and they've been used to using this one. So we're going to see. I'm going to scuff the ground around it, simulate it like a scrape as well. We're going to see what we get on it over the next couple weeks, but I'm going to be back in about 4 or 5 days. So this is a little bit different setup that I'm doing with using the licking stick base. We're going to see what it does.